ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to talk to you about opposing, denying blood and tissue donations to non-organ donors. One of my very main reasons into opposing that is because of the slippery slope. Now, the slippery slope is a very main argument. It's a very important thing. First of all, our opt-in system for organ donations, the one that we're all used to, is going to change into an opt-out system. What does that mean? Giving is going to change into taking. Instead of giving my very precious organ, the very expensive gift that I'm going to bestow upon the patient, which is going to save the patient's life, is going to be a social responsibility. This individual altruism is going to be something that I have to do, and if I don't do it, I'm going to be a selfish person. The recipient would have a right to take my organ, even if I don't want to. This is called compulsory donation and mandatory donation. Okay, now, no, sorry, I can accept them after I finish. Now, advocates of increasingly mandatory donation have a very strong utilitarian argument to support the reversal of the traditional moral and legal reasoning. They say that we're going to have to cancel all of that routine work. There would be no paperwork. We're not going to have the records for the donors, which is very dangerous, by the way. We're not going to pay anything for giving public campaigns to tell donors how they can donate their organs. And that, of course, will save a lot of money for them. But don't you think about the dangers of that? Don't you think about what could actually happen to the donors? The recipient's health is going to be taken care of, and the donor's health isn't going to be taken care of. The attitudes of the doctors and of the physicians are going to change, and they have definitely changed. A study was published in Annals of Internal Medicine about physician attitude toward PVS, which is permanent vegetative state. They wanted to see how neurologists react to patients who are terminally ill, patients with PVS. A very small number said that they would aggressively treat cancer patients, treat cardiogenic shock patients to save their lives. And 89% of them said that it is ethical to withdraw artificial nutrition and hydration from them, to just kill them. Also, 19% said that they believe that it's okay to hasten the patient's death in order to harvest their organs. It's okay to kill them, to give them a lethal injection and just kill them. Is that okay? I don't think this is okay. Now, this is going to be applied more on the poor, not the wealthy. The poor who are a lot inferior to the wealthy. In fact, a patient who was called Ruben Navarro, he's 26 years old. Do you know what happened to that patient? Early in this year, a doctor called Houghton Ouzroch decided to inject the patient with excessive morphine because the patient refused to die on time. He refused to die, so he decided to inject them and kill him. This is not acceptable, and this is what compulsory donation is going to lead to. No, I'm sorry, I'm going to accept them at the end. Now, if we accept that, and if we allow mandatory and compulsory organ donation, in other words, denying non-organ donors to blood and tissue donations, we're going to reach some very jeopardous results, like what happened in the Netherlands and China. In the Netherlands, they compete for kidney transplants in reality shows. It has reached that stage. And in China, they can take young skin from condemned prisoners in Falun Gong prison. They have young skin, they have an organ bank and a skin bank, and about 8 of them in China are there to take the skin from live organ donors and to kill them, to give them to patients. Please, I'm asking you to not allow this to happen, to not allow mandatory and compulsory organ donation to happen. Thank you.
Information, please. Mr. Chairman, I would like to remind the audience and ourselves, as well as our opposing teams, what exactly are we arguing about?
Okay, Mr. El, if you have a statement,
I have a
point of information, you can say it to the speaker. But if you want to inform the audience of something, then wait for it.
Okay, it's to the speaker. The speaker has stated a case of a doctor called Hugo. Okay, and implying that this is a generalization, that most doctors will kill a patient because they didn't die on time, while previously, just when the fellow opposition team member was speaking, we have stated the exact opposite, that doctors' #1 priority is to save lives. That's one. Two, we are not, it's not a compulsory thing for people to donate. People are not going to donate their organs while they're alive. Okay? That's where I'm quoting the speaker, where she said, donating my precious organs. You are donating your precious organs after you die to save people's lives. Okay? Finally, I would just like to remind us all that our aim is to save people and not kill them.
Thank you.
Okay, about Putin, I know that this is a rare case, but it actually happens, and we cannot allow things like this to happen. Even if it's 1 in a million, we cannot allow accidents like this to happen. And this is not the only one. If I have more than 5 minutes, I'm going to stay with you all day to tell you about the patients who died because of doctors like those. A lot of people are found like that. A lot of doctors who misuse the laws and who cross the laws to do this. Now, your second point was about compulsory donations. This is a slippery slope. This will lead to that. If you say that non-organ donors cannot take the organs, that means that they have to donate their organs. That this is compulsory. I don't understand how this would not lead to that. Yes?
Time.
Okay, we don't have time.
You said
we
about...
We don't have time.
Okay.
Okay, you said that doctors, that if we approve this law, that it would affect poor people more. But you're saying it's already happening now, and some doctors are sometimes killing the patients to get their organs. But legalizing it, don't you think this would make it more controllable, making sure that the poor don't get treated this way? I mean, would they have better chances right now without a law or with a law?
How would it make it more controllable when we're not going to keep the donor registries? When we're going to switch into an automatic process. When I'm born, I'm going to change into a donor, and that's going to be automatic. They can take my organs. If I can donate blood, they would take my blood, and they would take organs from a dead carcass. So yes, this is actually happening, and by making a law that allows this to happen, we're going to say that what's wrong is right.
Thank you.